But now I would like to call up Vito.
Yep.
Vito is somebody, he's a parent. He's now gotten elected to the CEC 20 board. Is that correct?
That is.
That's new information. Let's give him a big hand of congratulations. And he had the audacity and the courage to sue the Department of Education when they tried to do things that would hurt the children, his children, and all of our children. So that's something else that we should give him a big round of applause about. He's somebody who's fighting for all of our children, and he's doing it in a responsible way and a very active way. So I'd like to ask for your thoughts, Vito LaBella.
Thank you so much, Assemblyman. Thank you so much for this fight and all of your fights in the past. Yes, I am the Krista McAuliffe PTO president, and my recording secretary, Chun Poon, is here. I want to thank her for coming. We, as an executive board, decided to stand up to the city when they first wanted to expand the Discovery program. And we're going to continue our fight in every possible venue. And I'm honored to follow in the good Mr. Stanley Eng's footsteps as a new elected representative to the CEC. And I hope I can represent all of the children in CEC as well as Stanley did. We've heard about the SHSAT all morning. And I don't want to reiterate what was already said. We're all for keeping the SHSAT the way it is. We're all for expanding gifted and talented programs. But I want to discuss something that has been in the newspapers recently. And I was a former police lieutenant. And I retired 2 years ago to get involved with my children's education. And I do speeches and I do like little seminars on implicit bias. Implicit bias is getting a lot of attention in the newspaper, and it is a very real thing. It is a real thing in education, it is a real thing in policing, it is a real thing in life, okay, in everyday life. It is out there. And the way to address implicit biases is by acknowledging it, by shining a white, hot spotlight on it, okay, by being constantly vigilant for these biases, and for using objective criteria, for training our brains, because we're all human beings, and we have to train our brains to use objective criteria when we evaluate situations, when we evaluate children or individuals. We have to use objective criteria to be on the lookout for these biases. That's a definite thing. But what's happened now are some people in DOE are conflating things. They're doing a little bait and switch. And they're using the very real implicit biases that we all have to say that standards don't matter. We want to reduce standards. We want to make passing 65 to 55 and then celebrate how many more people are passing. That's ridiculous. Okay? That's not what we need to do to get where we all want to be, which is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, socioeconomically stratified culture where we are all rising together. We are all working well together. That's what I want. That's what everybody I know on this issue wants. And we don't change objective standards, like the SHSAT, to subjective standards. That's just a different kind of bias, right? That's what they want to do. And we just can't let them do that. Because in order to rise all boats, we have to make sure that everybody has these opportunities. This mayor's been around for how many years, and he hasn't added not one seat to the specialized high schools. If he was really concerned, he could have added 500 a year. And we capture more and more children until every child who would do well in a specialized high school has a seat in a specialized high school. That's what he should have been doing. He's failed to do that because he has a social agenda. He doesn't have an educational agenda. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak these few minutes. And thank you, Assembly Member, again for all of your hard work.
Thank you.